Hello everyone, and welcome to the 365 Saturday Warsaw. And I hope you are ready to level up and become Microsoft Teams superhero. The next 48 minutes or so is going to be Teams with lots of demos and lots of hands-on tricks and tips, hopefully. And if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat and drop in the information or just letting me know you are out there. So just say hi or something like that. This is a community event, so you can also open your mic and ask questions if you have something specific. This you better just fasten your seatbelt and be ready, because this is going to be fast-paced. And in case you noticed, I'm not showing a PowerPoint here. Instead, I'm looking at the SharePoint spaces inside Teams. So of course, it's a pretty Warsaw back there, and we can say hello or thank you to sponsors and partners. So Bonaire and Microsoft and 365 Saturday and European Collaboration Summit as well. And of course, don't forget to attend the Bonaire virtual bar. There's a meeting link in this session agenda there, and join the conversation so you can win in some devices, USB drives, headphones, Bluetooth speakers, and something like that. And also for the GlobalCon attendant, kind of the I don't know, free ticket to GlobalCon. All right. I am Vesa Nopanen, just please call me Vesku Nopanen, or Vesku, and I'm principal consultant for modern work, and I work for Sulava. And I have a kind of quarter century of IT history, more or less. And I'm very passionate about Microsoft Teams and, of course, the modern work life. And please, you are most welcome to follow my blog and follow me on Twitter and connect me at LinkedIn as well. I'm also a Microsoft most valuable professional for Office apps and services, and of course with the heavy Teams focus in there. And today the agenda is of course about Microsoft Teams. I will show you demos, and I will show you more demos about Teams or talk about Teams. It's a superhero palooza with some demo extravaganza as well. Yeah, we could go here and open the PowerPoint, but what's the fun in there? We can walk to another space inside Teams. Yeah, there's the other slide of me, but I want to kind of highlight my employer Sulava, which is a kind of a great company in Finland and globally nowadays. We have offices at Dubai, as well, and we are expanding to Germany and Switzerland. And but the thing is that what Sulava is kind of, I couldn't say sponsoring, but it's kind of encouraging us to be in these kind of community events, and that's one thing I love about that. Of course, excellent and awesome colleagues are the other thing. But as you can see, the spaces is kind of fun. You can have the video or slides running there, and this is just a video recording of the presentation I had. So you can have this kind of virtual showcase even when you are not using the headset. So just let me know if this is kind of new idea to use the spaces for presentations. And as for the one tip I cannot demo yet, but instead to show you around, is that you can already opt in from the new stream experience. So basically what it means that the meeting recordings will go to the OneDrive or to your team site, basically SharePoint site, starting Monday. So in 2 days. You just have to have some PowerShell magic and go to change the meeting policy inside the PowerShell for OneDrive for Business, and the Teams recordings will start going to the OneDrive. The schedules meetings like this or personal meet nows. And if you're doing channel meetings, they will go directly to the team site. And if you have guests in your team, they will most likely be able to see those without a hassle. So it's a great addition there, but but of course it also means that these recordings won't be at the stream. So if you are building a stream showcase stream video channels there for your company, and you are doing a lot of team recordings there, then you might not want to opt in early. But you have to opt out before during this October, because otherwise you will be forcefully opt in during November. And if you opt out, you are good for this year, for the rest of the year, but during Q1 of next year, you will be moving towards this stream recording, OneDrive recordings anyway. So that's kind of good information and kind of for you to be able to do a head start there. All right, so let's check a few things about the meeting. And where's my meeting? I was just figuring out. I have a few sessions here. Okay, I'm not in the Teams meeting yet, but let's open the meeting. And you may wonder, I am running a Teams session. I have a demo Teams desktop running there as well, and I have a couple of demo persons there. I have my Surface Pro, hello, running from that, and this is of course on purpose. When you are in Teams meeting, one of the latest features you got recently is the spotlight. So I can go ahead and spotlight the person so they take all the space there. Or if I can switch that spotlight to other person, Amy doesn't have the camera on. I only have 2 cameras. So that's a very handy way to create these kinds of meetings. So in case you don't know about this, and of course you can spotlight yourself and see that you are being spotlighted. And you can very easily then, of course, turn off the spotlighting later. Okay, let me show that you with Amy. Amy is in here, and they can see that. Okay, you can stop spotlighting me, so you don't have to be on the spotlights if you don't really want to. But let's put so-called Adam. So I have lots of alter egos there, and start sharing content. Something to notice about sharing the content is that if you just upload a PowerPoint to your team files, it's not here until you have went there in Teams and opened it in a Teams PowerPoint. So once you did it, you don't have to even edit it. It's here and you can start sharing the PowerPoint. Okay, is that something new, or is the tip or kind of old trick or not? Of course, we know how to share PowerPoint on screen. But PowerPoint sharing has a couple of fancy things. One of them is this preventing the participants to move through this PowerPoint on their own. So I can kind of choose to show them which slides I want to show, and attendees cannot do any changes. But if you are not an attendee and you are a presenter, this is the easiest way to take a switch. Any other presenter can take control of shared PowerPoint without any approval. I just click take control, and I can change this private viewing path, or I can show the slides around. And yeah, this is so easy. And in here, I can see another user to control, and I can take it back. So if you are doing a company town hall or presentation with multiple presenters, this is one way to kind of switch between presenters very easily when you're showing the PowerPoint. If you have all the other participants as presenters, then this is highly risky because anyone can do that. So you don't really want that. But if you are talking about the situation where lobby is properly configured, so everybody else is attendee, then this is very good on that. I don't know if you knew this. This has been here for a long time, but this was one of those things that hadn't hit my radar until a few weeks ago. So this is quite fun and useful. And notice this new logo there. I already highlighted it, but of course that's a good thing to know. And in here, looking from the 3 dots menu, in the new meeting experience, you default on the gallery. And if you have 5 or more attendees, they don't have to have your camera on. You can activate the together mode. And if you have 10 or more people with cameras on, then you can open the large gallery. Large gallery and together mode can have 49 people visible at the same time. Together mode is going to get new backgrounds at the end of the year, and it's going to get new AI improvements as well. So finally, the machine learning AI will start, well, basically Azure is going to start shrinking or growing us, so it'll look like we are about the right sized when we are sitting on those chairs. And since there's no more full screen mode, there's the focus mode where you can kind of forget the rest of the content and just use that to concentrate on the main content here. So you are skipping all these other people's video feeds. And of course, turning on the live captions, we'll have later the speaker attribution, and recording will have the automatic transcription as well. So yeah, fun things are coming Teams meetings. What I really wait is the custom layouts, which allow me to kind of define how I want to show my slides, how do I position the other cameras, or how I can kind of put my picture on top of the presentation there without a background, so it looks really better in some of the presentations. And it's a lot easier than going through the NDI and OBS magic. All right, but that's a kind of the quick way on the meetings. The hard mute appeared on my demo tenant, but then it went away, so I can demo it today for you, unfortunately. But it should be coming during this October. All right, let's leave that meeting and hope that this meeting remains on. I think I kind of built my both meetings in one end meeting there. Edith, I can confirm that you are still hearing me, or somebody can just say the word.
I'm here.
Excellent. So that was the kind of thing when you are running 2 Teams desktops at one time. It's a bit hazardous, so things like that can happen. And if you want to know how to run it, there's just kind of short instructions for that, how to do it. But yeah, it's be careful about that. As you saw, it's a kind of hack, and it can happen. But one more thing I want to show from the desktop version here is the settings. Yeah, you ping to the Teams settings a lot, but have you checked today the notification? And in case you click this in your desktop version and it's blank, just go to other screen. So this notification settings just changed, and open the chat there as well. And so you can see it's looking different. You can turn on the sound from here, and Teams and channels have the settings you can put here under custom settings, for example, or just opt in to have all activities on mentions and replies. But I very highly recommend the custom ones. And usually on my real kind of environment, I have only the showing the feed for personal ad mentions, but in the demo, I want to sometimes to have the banners up and running. But that's a kind of something you want to keep on. Team mentions, I usually turn them off. If I start a conversation, yeah, that may be a good idea to have some notification about that, but I usually put a lot of on default. And for channel mentions, whatever you put here, this is the default setting for every channel if you don't show it. So if you turn these off, the channel mentions don't come through, but I usually recommend to show it only in the feed. And from here, you can go to the chatbot and see, okay, is there some banner and feeds, or is there, what about the replies in the chat on likes and reactions? How do you want to handle them? And the same for following people. You can add people from that part, and yeah, the other, someone who joined Teams, yeah, it's off if you want to reduce the noise. But that's kind of the one of the, or that's the latest addition to some tenants. It may not be visible to all of you. It wasn't visible to every user in my demo tenant, so I had to choose wisely which user I'm going to be using for this one. Luckily, it was my main demo user. All right, let's go and go through a few more things. And I use the web browser so I can switch between some screens more easily here. And hopefully it will make a bit better demo experience as well. At least it's not as volatile as running to desktop clients. Okay, what else? Well, we can start with the search. The contextual searches, you just type here, let's put a new conversation there, and you just hit the Control and plus F at the same time, so you can get to the search. That is going through that one specific channel you are in, or if you are in a chat, it will go through the chat, what kind of chat group. If you're in a chat group, in meeting chat or personal chat, it will just search for that particular chat for the content. So yeah, it's very useful to have this Control plus F in use, because you can find information a lot more quicker than you would otherwise do. And if I go here and let's put book, and I can see there's a lot of testing I've done with bots. So you can see that it's really quick and really fast. The search is going to get better by the end of the year, hopefully, depending on how the roadmap schedule holds. But the Microsoft 365 search is coming to Teams, so it will find the information a lot better. And in case you are using Jammer in your organization and you have added the Communities app to Teams, it will also search for the Jammer conversations directly from here, from the search box. Okay, let's go and write some reply. I'm going to be using this one for that. And yeah, that's a reply box. It's a bit small. You can press the Control plus Shift plus X to open the extended mode or switch back to the simple mode. So it's really kind of easy to avoid also some mistakes if you use the extended mode, because then the enter doesn't send the message. But what I wanted to show around here is, of course, this one. When you are copy pasting information from a website from somewhere else and you are just pasting it here, then you are getting a very interesting looking text with the formatting. No, we don't like it. So let's just go back to the normal mode. With the right click, yeah, there's this paste as plain text, and as you can see, there's a shortcut for that. Control-Shift-V, sorry, using the mixing of languages. And if I just use the shortcut, I can get the text very nicely in a plain format. And that's very recommended with people in dark modes or normal, more light modes. When you are copy pasting information between teams, yeah, it can kind of mess around the formatting really bad. So I kind of recommend to use the pasting as a plain text and then doing the formatting in Teams. And of course, if you are writing, let's put some reply text, and if you are writing or kind of quoting something, you can use this Shift plus open arrow. So then you will open the quote automatically, and when you then paste the text, it will look a lot better, and just hit enter to get away from the quote and put your comments here. And now that we are in an expanded mode, if I hit the Control plus enter, I can send the message just like that. And if I did a mistake, I'm here at the reply, I hit the up arrow and I can go back to the editing mode of the message. So it's very simple to know a few tips about how to use shortcuts. They will make it way faster than having to go to the menus and do things from there. And in case you want to know what are the shortcuts, then Control plus dot, and you will get the keyboard shortcuts relevant to your browser version of Teams you are using. So this is the most important shortcut you need to remember, and there's plenty of them. I'm not going to go through all these, but these are very useful. Learn the ones you need, and what you notice that you are spending a lot of time with the mouse. It takes time before some of the shortcuts are imprinted to your memory. You could use something like Windows plus V, so it will open the Windows different clipboard, etc. There's lots of different clipboards around and mechanics there, or you can use the Shift Windows S for the screen snippet, and then you can take a screen snippet from there and paste it there with Control V, and yeah, you can see it works. So it's very recommended to know a few shortcuts because they will make your day a lot easier there. Okay, no questions so far. I guess I need to kind of level up to something more. You're all hardcore here. I see. Let's switch to Amy, and this is my other demo user, and switch to Planner here. And yeah, the tasks are here. I had to switch to Amy because my other demo user doesn't have the tasks yet. So it's rolling up, and it may show up in your tenant to some users, and some users don't have it. So you can see, okay, what kind of tasks do you have? Which are the important ones marked you, and it shows you the source as Warsaw tasks. Okay, what does it mean? It means that it's in a planner side. So this new tasks is kind of combining your personal tasks and shared plans, which are planners. And yeah, emojis, of course, somebody wants the emojis. I have a few shortcuts about emojis. But yeah, I can go here as I did with the planner, and I have the board view, I have the charts view, and the schedule view, so it looks very familiar. But this list view is new. The priorities show up better than before, and to who they are assigned to, so it's very much better to see how who are going to be doing them and how these tasks are going to be processed. And this view is very flexible. How do you can when you are resizing this? Yeah, it's inside. It's just a planner. We don't have to spend time there, but it's rolling out. But the great thing is that you can get your tasks in this. What is this missing is the My Day. I use it to do a lot, and I picked tasks to my day, and this is missing that, and that's a kind of sad thing. Yeah, you can use the filters, but still, I hope My Day would make it in here, and I could start picking up tasks. But with Assigned to Me, this is a very kind of important view, because from this I know what I'm expected to do in other teams. And yeah, I can go ahead and change the progress. It's in progress. We can see it's much more visual than before. You can change the priorities, put the due dates, or switch the bucket if I had more buckets in that planner. So the planner is powering this up. That's not a new. This is a kind of a UI, how you manage your tasks throughout teams and throughout your personal tasks as well. Yeah, and new list or new plan, you can start creating new one, and we can of course use this demo board, and I could do it in my tasks, or if I click open here, I can choose the team where I want to put it in. Okay, let's use this, and then we use the channel where we want to put this one, and we create it to announcements, and it's going to create us hopefully the new plan. Yeah, it did it. Yes. No demo effect here, it worked. And this is fairly new because it was yesterday when I noticed that the tasks is coming. All right. The next is of course going to be with my normal user or my more normal identity, and there's a flow app in here. Yeah, the flow app is having this approvals tab. And I want to highlight this. This is not the new application, but it's going to be replaced during this month with the Power Automate application. So Flow is changing to Power Automate, and it's going to be more visually pleasing looking. It's more to the point. It has more functions there. And the approvals, which are here inside the Flow app, are going to be a separate app. But we can still demo how it's going to work for most parts by going to the themes here. And again, I did this flow a bit earlier and going to the more actions and activating a per selected message for approving a message. Yeah, it could start it from somewhere else, but this is quite simple. Select, okay, why this needs approval, and then I want to create something like, hey, let's publish here, or is this now okay for the being published, whatever. And I start creating the approval. And that's a thing, like there are ways to create approvals inside Power Automate. There are actions for that, and you can also ask for the approval from using an adaptive card. So it can be in the chat or it can be in a team. And if I go to the Flow app, as you saw, there's a message for me there, okay, saying, okay, this approved Teams message is require approval. And if I open it, I can, it will open the Teams there, and I can go directly to the message, what needs to be approved. But it's also here in approvals part, as you can see, so you can approve messages. I could do the approval from here, or I can, of course, use the adaptive card here, and somebody's saying emojis there. And so if you hit the Win plus point key, you will open the Windows emoji board here, and you can put the emojis in. And yeah, there's a question about how to resolve a problem with cyclical tasks in Planner. Option to ask cyclical task. I don't think that this tasks planner is going to change that, unfortunately. Okay, we can new task, if we add it, and then we open it, but it doesn't have any new information like making a recurring or something like that. So you can't do it with this, but you could create a flow that would automatically doing scheduled, add it to the specific planner. And so let me deviate from my normal stuff, and okay, we could do a scheduled add a task to planner, and we can start it and we repeat it for now like every minute. And yeah, it started already. And we can add a specific task to planner, and let's look for the planner and create a task and open up the plan for the demo board and recurring task, and we put it in the to-do bucket, and we don't do anything else. So this is some of the ways perhaps I urge you to try to create recurring tasks, because it's very easy to create them, just because you can also do the, like, if you want, you could be doing, now of course we want to use the planner here, and demo board, let's see how it refreshes, it's starting to add them. So how do you, what kind of tasks do you want to add there? Based on a message, or do you want to create a specific one? You could create put a SharePoint list, and if you add something to SharePoint list, it will create that as recurring tasks. You could put the information there as well. Or you just do that flow like that and put everything manually, and it will be easier to do. And I'm happy it answered to your question. yeah, what I was going to show, let's stick here and go to the flow. There's a few other fun things with flows. I already showed you very quickly, okay, you can create a scheduled flow, but there's this create from template. And this create from template is going to be even better with the new upcoming Power Automate. But you can see here, here's the see more templates. If you have used this, just let me know in the chat, because I guess that not that many people have used this up there. And this would be very excellent for average user as well. Because if you go and you know that you can click a few more templates out, you can start seeing very interesting templates, like a follow-up on a message here in the corner. I create a follow-up on a message task, and for the interest of the demo, I will change this adaptive card to make it 1 minute instead of 20 minutes, and put just okay 1 there, and save the card and save the flow. This is my personal flow on default, and if I go to the flow information, follow up on a message, of course I could change the name, but I could define run-only users for my team if I find out that this flow is very useful for them. But what this does simply the reminder. I can go to the 3 dots here, more actions, and follow up on a message. Yeah, something strange there. It's not perfect yet. And I want to be reminded in 1 minute. That was how fast you can do it. You don't have to know much about flows, because normal user wouldn't have to do even that editing for the 1 minute. They could go with the defaults, they just save it, and they have a personal productivity flow there. Or if I go to the flows and I want to show the other one, of course I want to show a few. Let's go from the template. You can see I'm not using templates that often, and let's go to the bottom, because here we have also, it's always fun when you are doing switching some views here. Let's see, where's my see more templates. Okay, I can save a message to OneNote, or I can, where's that? Okay, there was the planner message somewhere, but perhaps it's coming in a very different order this time around. It's not always perfect. I got the reminder. I could create an Outlook event from the message. Yeah, it looks fun. It's just a bit similar like creating that, putting the message to my quick notes in OneNote. But hey, let's go to the calendar. I can put the message, create some kind of a calendar meeting there, go to the +2 there, and I can start doing the very easily creating this flow that includes other people as well. Okay, I have some other flows to show you, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. But here's also the adaptive card showing you around. Okay, I can put the meeting details, people there, and then to really take it to the next level, you will create an event. And for some reason, this template doesn't include the other people, even they ask for that. But you can see, you can use the information from that on selected message part here. You get the information for the meeting, etc., and the information you get from directly from the on selected message. But of course, what you want to use here is Microsoft Teams, and you can create a Teams meeting instead of the just a normal event in your calendar. Just select the calendar, you put the subject in, for example, that could be a message subject, it could be the or information from the adaptive card with the meeting title, messages, time zones, etc. And yeah, that's awesome. But since we want to do something else as well, we should go to the assistant mode. I have a Power Virtual Agent here, and it has a few Power Automates as well. Let's activate our bot. And okay, start over, please. Bot, wake up today. And it's always fun when something is waiting. Right, the bot doesn't work to open up from here. All right, now I'm getting a few options. This is fun when you are very impatient. That bot can greet you. This is the new addition to Teams. The project Oakdale added Power Apps and Power Virtual Agents that are in preview now to your teams. You can create 500 environments in your tenant. So basically 500 teams can have these kind of bots. It's included in Teams license, so you don't have to worry about this bot licensing. And I will show you shortly how easy it is to do this. But I have a few things I want to do, like, okay, let's search something. Tell me about Warsaw. I can do things like, hey, let's ask things from the bot, and it will go through the Q&A maker database and fetch me an answer. All right, I can say thank you, and you're welcome. I don't want to answer the question. Let's just start over. And perhaps I want to know how much vacation I have left. And it can go to your backend processes wherever using the Power Automate and find the information. Okay, that's cool. How about doing that meeting? Book me a meeting with the IT support. Meeting is about Teams, of course. And I just gave it the meeting a title, and it will activate the Power Automate to find me a person in the IT support. It's going to be Patrick, and there's some work to do with this as well, because it's going to be Monday at 5 a.m. That's UTC time. I didn't fix the times. And if I go to the next week, and I can see it has created me a meeting with Patrick about it is about Teams. So, and if you haven't noticed, when you right-click the meeting in Teams calendar, you have options now going to the edit one. You are the organizer, or chatting, or joining, or canceling it directly from there. All right, and the final thing, of course, what I want to start cooking up, we all want to use to create a new team. Okay, what are these? Adopting Office 365 onboarding project events. If you go to the, yes, I want to be signed in. If you go to the Teams Admin Center, you can see there are templates already, at least in some tenants. And you can see there are templates like managing an event. You can say what's in there, or you can create your own. And here we can see, okay, it should have some information in tabs. Of course, I want to create an event here. This is just a Warsaw demo, almost writing properly. Demo and description demo, and it's going to be a public team. And my bot is going to take care of about starting to create the team. And soon I will get the information like I will be added to a team, and it will take a long time when it's starting to create that team. And yeah, it's already creating that one. And opening the Vesa Agents app, going through some of the information, going to the chatbots. And these are really easy to create. In one event, I just created an easy demo from the scratch, because when you start adding information, but for you, I wanted to show a few things. Let's open the assistant here. And okay, the test bot can be closed. Go to topics. Yeah, you can see there are different topics, and I already only activated the one. It will create you with some kind of example topics you can use, and you can go ahead and change the system topics. But I want to go there and see what's in the authoring canvas. This canvas is the conversation flow and whatever it's doing there. And as you can see, it's very easy to add the display name, the user there, to make it more personal, like, hey, greeting the person who's in. And or you can go to the Power Automate and just take the first name if you want, but I think this is good. And make it more personal. It's going to feel better. You can ask questions from users. There are different questions like multiple choices, getting the entire response, etc. There's lots of magic to be added here. Like if I went here, I can go and define like, okay, can this be accessed by any topic in this bot, or can external sources set values? And that's something to explore for later. And in a simple way, it's kind of just dividing the conversation. And if I go here for the booking the meeting, I ask the question about the meeting, and then I go here and activate a call to action. If I click here plus, you can see what kind of options you will get: asking questions, adding conditions, call to action, which is a flow, showing a message or ending this path. But here, if I go to the find time and schedule meeting, it will open it. These flows, our Power Automates, are only in that team where that bot is created. They are not reusable by any other team, and you can't find them, at least I couldn't find them by any other means but going through the bot for them. Hopefully they will be accessible later. But here I get the information about the user ID, and the question text for the meeting. So I can get the user profile based on user ID and then start finding times. I have a few persons there who are just hard-coded to be able to find the times, and it will kind of find a slot in a calendar for specific duration. Here's just adding a few days for the range, and then parsing the JSON so I can get that specific person there, and getting the start and time, and eventually, yeah, it's just putting that person there who are we going to be using for the meeting. I just picked the first. This is not a very smart one, but then I use this here in the creating a Teams meeting, and so I can just do it automatically here. And as you saw, it was really quick, and I return the values to the user. And the other one, of course, I assume you are interested about is creation of the team, and so we can use those templates. And if I go here and see for the event template, I put it as an event, so I know what kind of or not. When the user is selecting the template, then we are using that in a flow, so we know what kind of team we are creating. Then we are asking the names and stuff, and then we relay that information to the flow. Of course, this was a bit more work to do because you have to have, at this point, you need to use the HTTP call to create the team, because it would be really fun to use this Teams, Microsoft Teams create a team, which is in preview, but it doesn't let me to set the template. So I can't use that yet, but if I go here and check out the cases, where's the event? Let's see, was it the 5th? Yeah, I just put the information from here from the templates. Here's the template ID, right to the variable here that has the same ID. You can use your own here as well, and then I will call the creation with the template ID here. And I just put the rest of the information there. And yeah, I can set some settings while doing that. I can use the GraphQL for that. And that's it. So it's starting to create a team. That's a simple one. And now it has 6 hidden channels. This is a very slow, this provisioning. It takes a while, so don't make users wait. It has the team information, and yeah, you need to set up the tab there, for example. And yeah, and of course, yeah, the wikis are there, but then you would have to do processing to remove the wikis from users, but it creates them. That's the big thing. You have to put every tab there, every tab information. You can define the templates here as admins, and then can move over here. And in case you want to use the Power Apps part, you can go to the to the home page, and there are some apps you can add to the team very easily to collect information. Adding to a team, let's put them to the Warsaw specific channel again, and we can set a tab, and it will start installing the Power App there. And the power of this is that you can go ahead and make changes. It will start doing that, so I'm not going to wait for that, but instead I'm going to show you the ending slides because I already used 47 minutes and that went like in a flash in this one. So I really hope you learned something. Of course, what I did, I was doing these in teams. I was thinking a lot about teamwork. You put them to your team. You share the flows, good productivity flows you do. You share them to the teams and to your team members. You guide the others to use these. Using the flow templates, that's the easiest trick in the book now to kind of work better there. Put the reminders. Don't select the message. It's an awesome trigger. You should start using that because it opens a lot of possibilities. And of course, you help the others. You share the information. That's the thing that makes you superheroes. And of course, we are passionate people about, especially I am, and Irita knows that I am really passionate. I told you the passion is here. So the congratulations for the level up. I really would like to hear in the chat if you learned something new or do I have to do better next time. So, and don't forget the Teams Fest next week. You can sign up there or just go to the site and there will be direct links to join the sessions. There's a huge amount of sessions, 8 tracks, and yeah, Power Platform is there as well. So you can learn a lot from that event. And it starts early in Central European time, but hey, it's going to be worth it and lasts 11.5 hours. So it's a big thing. So thank you. Hopefully we have 10 minutes for the bar or something like that, or you can go ahead and ask questions.